Hey y'all, this is Clarence Johnson with Genderswag Media LLC. Genderswag, for all of you who don't know, is a really cool nonprofit and related media LLC where I use music, art, literature, and fellowship to support people who are going through crisis. With usually it's with depression, suicide, addiction recovery, things that I myself have overcome. Having said that, I wanted to really go into this just as many times as necessary to represent gender swag in regards to what's happening in social media, reaction-wise with Dave Chapelle, and then there was something else that someone brought to my attention with the recording star Little Nas, and I don't remember who the other hip-hop artist was, but the back and forth was that Little Nas allegedly made a statement saying that he was doing a duet or recording a track with this guy, and then the guy exploded and said some really awful things in regards to his reaction to LGBTQ. First off, I've told you guys, and I'm going to say it again, I am beyond labels at this point. I've gone through all of that. Being gay, being black, being homosexual, being fag, being all of the labels, drag queen. At this point, I'm just me, and I'm comfortable with who I am, and I stick to a principle that involves evolution, and I'm a human being. Okay. Having said that, I want to go right into two things. Dave Chapelle just recently posted that he was open, to having, I guess, a conversation or discussion or an audience in regards to his current Netflix comedy special, where he allegedly said some things about transgender people. I say allegedly because I haven't watched the show, and to be honest with you, it's not something that I am drawn to just for being up on things. I don't feel drawn to Dave Chappelle's humor in this aspect because I just feel like there's nothing for me to learn. I really enjoy being entertained and laughing at satire when it has something, really important to say in regards to human nature and what we deal with in society and stuff like that. And in a full frontal aspect, I totally understand frustration, if you will, in regards to labels and LGBT and LGBTQ elemental P. Just there's a lot of hypocrisy. I've said this before, that exists within our community, but it doesn't give anybody the right, Dave Chapelle of all people, to attack our transgender brothers and sisters. They're just human beings to me, just like he is. And why I don't want to watch the show is because, as I said, I'm not learning anything from that kind of satire. I feel like it's just as, non-important as in the 50s or whatever, when a white comedian would just take shots at a black person's anatomy. The stereotype is that, black men have bigger penises and all that stuff. And it just kind of reminds me of that kind of thing. I don't have any interest in that kind of humor. I'm sorry. I know people are like, they're mad. He's mocking them, and you should say more out of it. What I will say is that, humanity is really effed up. From where I sit, I get phone calls on the regular from kids who are suicidal, and that's my little puppy over there carrying on. Suicidal, and the ramifications of this kind of thing is huge. That's my concern, is that while we are working it out, hopefully coming into some sort of higher state of awareness of what this all is. Lives are at stake. People don't realize that your fame can cost somebody their life when you take a stance that has an irreverence for someone's safety or just their existence, and especially when you go into their anatomy and genitalia and things like that. That's really taking things below the belt with stuff. I am a higher energy type of dude right now in my life, and I think Dave Chapelle should definitely keep himself open to a progressive, exchange of information with the transgender community and LGBTQI people in general, if that's what he's saying. But I really also feel that we also, as LGBTQI, elemental P, can also take a look at what we need to work on within our own community in regards to how we treat each other. And the transgender community is really vilified still by a lot of the other letters in the acronym of LGBTQ. And then the feeling is also reciprocated by the trans community at large with the rest of the LGBTQI. That's my experience from being an activist for 10 years or so, non-paid, doing it out of volunteer and concern for the community. So look, we all got to get through this some way, somehow. There is a tendency for ignorance to repeat itself. And Dave Chapelle, someone who I really followed and admired in regards to his racial satire and his ability to kind of, poke fun at things that were really heated and, all of that stuff with race. It's just, it is just, I don't know. It's like a merry-go-round. Here's a black comedian singling out a group of people and doing what he does or what he did or all of that. It just seems too much the same in regards to what black, brown-skinned people protest against regularly. We have to deal with that kind of shit every day, walking the streets and doing our business, and transgender people have to deal with a lot every day, walking the street, trying to do their business and live their lives. And does it help to have somebody make fun of your genitalia as part of your human condition? Hell no. And it also gives certain ignorant people, more ignorant, a license to ill and to do damage and to do things because of whatever their bag of bee is. And a lot of people mentally lash out at things that they don't understand. We know that for a fact because look at what we deal with on the regular with the police brutality. We are told in these situations that a black brown skin person, I'm not black, I'm brown, our lives don't matter the same. And it's this kind of ignorance that perpetuates the continuum of the discrimination and then subsequently of the physical abuse, and that we are, deserving of being, treated less than human beings. So that's it. I know it was a long one. I'm sorry, but this is how I feel. I'm going to keep repeating this in different alterations, but I really think it's important for all of us to look at each other and say, well, you know what? I could be doing better in my own world when it comes to this kind of thing. Because there's a lot of transgender people out there who are very nasty, very, very, very out of their bag, just like Dave Chapelle in their own way. And I just think it's a good a good opportunity to point these things out and let people be people and learn about each other. I mean, what's he doing talking about transgender genitalia? I'm like, yo, what? How you know? But anyway, guys, I don't mean to make light of it, but I just want you all to know I'm answering phones, trying to say lies with these kids, and it's crazy enough. So, I don't think I'm going to watch the show. I don't have any interest in watching that particular thing. So, there you have it.